This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Guys, I'm not kidding. We've really got to work something out on this podcast.
What is it?
Man, it's not been working, man.
No.
People are messaging us. They're saying, you guys are too hot.
Yeah.
We got to do something about that.
Even though they can't even see our faces because it's an audio medium, but you can watch it on YouTube if you want to. People are saying that just the audio voices are creating an image in their head that is just too hot for them to listen to.
I was talking to my guy at my bodega.
Yeah, your guy at your bodega.
And he told me his daughter listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
She's fucking loving it. I don't know.
She's fucking loving it.
We got a great history of bodega culture here in New York City, man.
She's fucking loving it, and
She fucking loves it, man. Man, how good is it to be a goddamn New Yorker, man, at the end of the day? It's so fun.
I love to be a New Yorker guy.
Man,
No, I have to say it's great time.
put your hand out for that, the orange, yellow car, and you get in. And we see where there's a guy, and he's sometimes not from New York, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I still like it, but
They
know.
have it, then they go, I get on the subway, but I'm like, is this a sandwich or is it a mode of transport?
Oh, man.
Don't take it that way, you crazy
I don't want
guy.
to use my bike here. They're crazy.
Yeah,
They're crazy,
on.
man. And sometimes it's like they have the orange light, and it's kind of like, okay, is this the go faster light?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said, hey, I'm walking here. I said, hey, this is the way I'm walking here.
Yeah, hey, this is the place today. I happen to be walking, and then if you get out
My
of the
journey
way.
is taking me in this direction here, sir. Please, I am walking in this way.
I love that they have the focaccia slice
With the pizza, with the cheese and
with
the cheese and the
with
tomato
pizza sauce
pizza
on it.
sauce.
It's amazing. And
Yes.
they say, oh, you shouldn't drop a coin off the top of the building because it might hit someone in the head. Well, I could do it some of that cash.
Who are we?
I don't know.
I don't
Who
really
are we?
understand it.
What
Welcome
are
back
we?
to New York, guys.
Welcome back to New York guys from Rotterdam and various other places
It's
as well.
the Rotterdam NYC podcast.
They're attractive. They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around. Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
Rero is an Irish lager brewed in Kilcoo, County Wicklow in Ireland. Oh, I can't do it.
I can't do it either.
I like Rero. They sponsor this podcast. They're keeping it cheap, independent Irish. You know the story.
You know the
They're
story.
mad for it.
And the Scottish people, and even Scottish people with questionable accents, love Rero. Enjoy responsibly, and thanks for sponsoring this podcast.
Thank you so much.
We are sponsored by Rotterdam this week,
yes.
and
Go
But it
there.
could be Rotterdam or anywhere.
Liverpool maybe.
Rome.
Yeah.
Please don't include that in the ad because this is an ad for Rotterdam. Please don't mention other
Yeah,
cities.
but we're just saying it could be anywhere. It could be
No, it couldn't be anywhere. They
Rotterdam is
specifically
anywhere.
No, they,
What's the story at that? Oh, we were taking a similar tone.
kiss each other.
Go ahead.
All right, you have to kiss each other. Again, too
What
hot.
was it? What was the point of that song? What was the meaning? It could
This
be Rotterdam.
could be Rotterdam.
Hey,
Anywhere alone.
It's just saying it. What
Anywhere
could
alone.
be?
I just remember they were funny. That was a funny, beautiful South. They were funny.
But what was a Beautiful South? Also, it's just the same band who did Caravan of Love with the girl. Is that it?
Yeah, the House Martins.
House Martins.
Which is
And then-
Fatboy Slim.
Nope,
No.
he was in. Fuck, what band was he? Oh, maybe he was.
I thought he was in
Was
the
he?
House Martins.
And Dido was sang in Faithless.
No, Dido's brother is in Faithless.
Yeah, but Dido sang there too.
Yeah, Dido was in Faithless.
Oh yeah,
She
I
wasn't the
remember
girl
she's like,
with the other girl.
tearing off tights with my teeth.
No.
Dido was a...
No sleep.
Dido didn't sing those bits.
And she even did the la 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 la.
That's not Dido.
That was.
is Dido.
I don't think
No,
Dido
she
sang
didn't
those
do
parts.
that. It was the guy with the deeper voice.
Just wanna die.
Oh,
You've
and
gone
then-
full
and then
circle
he,
now.
And then he was like, there will be no white flag above my bed.
Very
I'm
good.
what I am. I do what I want, but I can't hide. I love that song. I love Dido. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Okay.
When I go home of an evening and we have our dinner, I turn into like proper white woman Starbucks, kind of like album vibes. Like I like my Nora Jones.
There was
I
a
like- I
period
listen
in
to
my life
Gabrielle.
where every dinner we had in my house, we had to listen to that Norah Jones album that everyone bought their mum for Christmas,
Yes.
Mother's Day / birthday.
Yes.
And we had to listen to those songs over and over again.
That was one of them, wasn't it? It was David Gray, real mam kind of CDs.
Yeah.
David Gray.
What was the Norah Jones one? I can't remember.
The song?
Until I saw the sun, don't know why I didn't go.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, great
Her
stuff.
heart is drenched in wine.
Yeah.
Well, og is a sub then. Og is a sub then. And as well, I love Gabrielle. Like you're
Katie Melua. Katie Melua?
Katie Melua.
Katie Melua. I'm saying her name correctly.
Yeah,
and
she's
you
the
Melua.
one who was counting all the bikes
Melua?
in Beijing.
No, don't like that because that's
Yeah.
silly.
And making me do maths.
Yeah, it does actually.
I'm listening to a song and you're going 9 million bicycles in Beijing.
It's
I'm like,
too
that
interesting.
and I automatically
think.
think, how many people are in Beijing if there's that many bicycles? Too interesting.
I
many
think
cyclists that are in Beijing.
Gabriella's not in that category.
Who's Gabriella?
Gabrielle.
You know what? We're unmoored this morning. We're
I know,
unmoored.
I know.
You know what happened? Because Killian and I are having a small fight by accident.
Yes, but it was.
It was an
a fight.
accident,
Yeah.
but we're having a fight now.
It was very
Tony,
funny.
do you want to mediate for us now and see what happens?
Yes. Well, I
So
explained.
we did,
Okay.
yeah. So we did to make an ad, and then just this morning while I was waiting for the guys, as you know, they come late.
Yeah, he comes early.
Killian was the latest today,
Yes.
and I just threw on some music under the ad video, and I downloaded just a 480p version, not even no big fuss.
Yep. And he shared it with the rest
I
of us.
was like,
So
music?
what do you think of
What
this
do you
music?
think? Like, I just lashed it in. And Tony was like, I like it. And then Killian came into the podcast studio and he went, out of nowhere, just went, oh, I hate the music on it. Hate that.
No, fucking
hate that.
it.
I
No,
fucking hate that.
We thought he was doing a bit. I'm like, what's going on?
I was like,
no,
okay.
I fucking hate it.
And then we looked at each other, we made eye contact but through a mirror as
Yeah.
well, which was made it a bit more awkward and distant. And then I was like,
through the
okay,
looking
well,
glass.
I said, okay, well, you could be a bit more polite about it. And Killian was like, no, I just hate it. And then
And
he
then
realized,
I think I picked up on the fact that Killian wouldn't normally be like
Yeah.
this. He would say, I love it, even if he hates it, if it's with someone.
and even though I did, like I said, I did just lash that in while I was waiting. It did hurt my feelings.
Broke his heart.
It did
Of
hurt my
course,
feelings.
yeah.
I know I didn't put that
But
much
the-
investment into it.
No,
but
but that-
because you know what, it opened up in my event. Well, Tony's bad at mediator. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm just
Sorry,
not
I'm going to
mediator.
stop you there, Minister. Minister, I'm going to stop
Yeah.
you there.
Thank you.
To actually say something that this reminds me of. Nothing to do with this. No. But you know, sometimes when you did something. No, just it reminded me. When you did something. to
Say
someone
you know
else's.
again.
You know,
Worst therapist ever.
You
Just
know when you
talk
did
about-
something.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Your trauma.
Do you remember when? Different type of way of saying it.
Mm-hmm.
When you did something bold in someone else's house, and then like you broke something, and then their dad would come in and be like, "Who did that?" And they'd be like, "Oh, that was actually me." Like, that's all right. You know what I mean? And,
Don't worry, Tony.
and then they realized, no,
Yeah.
that's fine. I thought it was one of mine. That's fine. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Who's screaming?
Yeah.
It
That
me.
was the kind of vibe that I got this morning, where you
Yeah.
were kind of like, "Oh, I didn't know it was the company in front of me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can you explain yourself, please? And would you
Well,
like
I thought
to apologize?
it was sometimes when you send your things off to be approved by these companies, they will sometimes tamper with the art that you've created. And so when I saw that sent in, I thought that was Shane sending it in, going, "Oh, they put music underneath it." So I was actually in my because Shane's going off tomorrow for a while, and I was like,
Don't tell them.
"Oh yeah." Well, I was actually just trying
You
to.
can tell them.
I was actually trying to really, bolster Shane and go, "Yeah, you're fucking right." Like I also
I
dislike
also
it.
hate the music. It just, you know what it was?
But then
It
it
just
turned out it was Shane's
in
all
that
along.
in that
Shane's all
split second,
along.
I was like, "Oh my god, that means that there are choices I make comedically, creatively that Killian hates." That is the truth of it. And I was like,
Yeah.
sometimes, have I ever put up a video online or something that Killian went, "I hate that"?
yeah.
That's what it made.
The mask slipped,
That's why
like.
my feelings were hurt because that's I didn't need that much truth.
Yes.
I didn't need that much truth.
Yeah. You have in your ability, you can make something that Killian despises.
Yeah, that's possible. I can
Yeah.
make choices Killian hates. Do you like me?
Well,
Do you like me?
I will
It's a-
refer
it's a
to
sim-
you-
Minister,
refer
it's a
to one
simple
of my
question. Do you
favorite.
like him?
I'll
Yes or
refer to
no?
one of my favorite Dragon's Den things where it was the guy and he was selling the water and the water tasted disgusting out of the machine. I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but he was a hard salesman. And he said, if two business partners agree with each other on everything, one of them might as well not be there.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
So it's the same with a comedy troupe.
Sure. I would say a level of diplomacy and a level of respect is also encouraged within that troop.
No,
He's avoided the question.
I've avoided
Do
the
you like,
question.
Minister? Do you like the Do you like the speaker?
No, I think there's something to be said about the speaker. Something to be said.
I don't know why he's avoiding this.
Of course, I like the
Well,
speaker.
okay.
I think this is kind of. Do you know when I don't want to
course you
talk
like the
about you?
speaker.
I don't want to talk about you leaving again. But there's something about when your parents are going and then you start acting out against them.
Because I'm going away for a while.
Yeah.
So you're fighting
I'm
with me
flashing it
because
to
it's
make it less painful.
Make it less painful for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're kind of flexing a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So really, Tony, you're being very nice to Shane. Are you happy that he's going off for a little bit?
The podcast will remain as normal.
Well, as someone with object permanence, I haven't really processed it at all. And I'm having a good time right now.
Is it that you have object permanence or you don't have object? What is it? Which one?
Object permanence is when I see things. I mean, I don't really like saying that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But not because, just, I don't really, anyway. I hate a lot of fucking diagnosing the shit. Anyway, but I do find it hard when, so I'm just saying, now that I see you now, it's as if I will see you forever.
Yeah.
And then when you're not here,
Yeah.
I'll be like, what's going on? This is, what?
Do you remember?
We paper? Are we paper right now? Is that what's happened?
You are a bit paper,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. And that's not your fault, it's because I didn't sleep last night. I went to bed at 3 o'clock last
Yeah.
night.
What's paper?
Tony, when he starts, when things get a little bit too stressful for him.
Oh, he sees
the
his children
turn
as
into
paper,
cartoons,
2D
kind of.
cartoon images.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I see them
So
in
we are
2D.
paper
Yes.
right now.
You are paper.
Don't touch. Ow, your fingers.
Sorry.
Well, I am rubber and you are glue. And whatever I say, whatever you say,
Sticks to you.
sticks to you.
Whatever bounces back
I don't
on
know.
me and it sticks to you.
Ibble obble chocolate bubble, ibble obble out.
Ibble obble did a fart and blew the candle out. My mother and your mother were out
hanging
hanging
out there.
close. My mother punched your mother in the nose. What colour blood came out?
Red.
R-E-D spells red, which means that you are the one that is not out. And
Not
you
because
are
you're
out.
dirty, not because you're clean, not because you kissed a boy behind a magazine.
Magazine.
Whoa.
That's what we say.
What's your generation's one of those?
Dib, dib, dib.
I don't remember, but I remember us talking about it before. But
Catch a tiger by the toe.
I always liked the
Dip,
sort
dip,
of
dip.
the cleansing of the circle before. There was always this
Dip, dip, dip.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that because that's it's completely unnecessary. You could just start with the rhyme, but always the dibber, the king
Yes.
dibber would
Point to the
point to the center of it and go
Dip, dip, dip.
dip, dip.
And that's actually mindfulness practice that
It is.
children do naturally. It's just kind of like you said, cleansing.
Cleansing.
And I think that's a great word for it, Killian.
Yeah.
It is
And I'm trying to just cleanse the palate of the group and kind of just reestablish and kind of reset up those boundaries again. And you know, we all look. We all come in and out of these things.
We could all dip a
You
bit
know,
more.
we could all learn a lot from our children actually. And I find that when I became a mother, I learned a lot from them.
Absolutely.
They taught
months
me.
ago.
They taught me. I became a mother earlier this year in February, which was 6 weeks ago. And
Yes.
I know everything about everything to do with raising children. And if
And
I
you're
could
the
help
first
you with
person
your
to ever have
teenagers.
kids.
I was the first person to have kids.
Yes.
And what I did was gave up on everything and every part of myself who I used to be. And now I just introduce myself. So say at a work thing, I would say, hello, I'm a mum. And then I will say, I am project lead on this project. So
And unfortunately, we have to let you go.
yes. Hello. Thank you for coming. I'm a mum, and we will be making you redundant this afternoon. You have been locked out of the Quibbly system already.
Quickly.
But would you like to see the photo shoot we did with little Josephine over the weekend?
They're all lying next to the dock, laughing.
We've gone through different shawls to create backdrops. This is my favourite.
There was a thing that it must have been some photographer. The sort of, I know in the countryside there was a real thing where they would get a photo of their house from like a helicopter.
Yeah, the aerial view.
Yeah.
aerial view.
That's the thing they have down the country.
They love
You go
that
into their
shit.
house and they've got that, and
The
you
plot.
go, that's actually kind of class.
Because the cultures do want to hear from us. They
Yeah.
do like when we talk, like, we know you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, silage.
Is that what you like? Sometimes the cultures say things like, when are you going to show over somewhere? And we're like, we can't because it would love to, but it would just be us three and then you and your friend sitting there. And that's not enough. That's just not viable at the moment.
We would actually love to. We're just very busy to do that in particular. That would actually would be class. But
just
we're
you
a
and
bit-
your that one person who asked for a show in such a place.
I mean, if it'd be nice if there was 10 days in a week. You know,
If there was 10 days in a week.
you know,
yeah.
I'd spend one of the evenings doing that with you, but definitely not.
The South Side, Dublin South Side version of this aerial photo is a photo on a big white canvas with no frame, large one, usually put in the kitchen or the dining room or something, and it's the whole family. And usually they're lying down next to the dog, or they're all lying down. Sometimes they all have white t-shirts on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a bit of some sort of effect with like the background is out of color, but then they're in color, or it's just a plain white thing and they're just appearing out of nowhere.
And they're traditionally not wearing socks.
I think
Why not?
I know
They love
these
that.
photos, and I
Yeah.
think like trends change, fashions change. I'm
Sure.
old enough now to I see things come back. The young people are wearing things that I used to wear when I was a young person. You see these things are cyclical. I think those photos are just always a mistake. I think there is no way, there's no justifying those photos. Every one of you who has one, those family photos, that was an error.
Yeah.
That should not have happened. It's kind of like, you know, I feel like in time there will be, the Taoiseach will have to make an apology in the Dáil on behalf of the state.
Yes.
Yeah.
To the current citizens of the state and say, in the past we made some mistakes. These photos should never have happened.
After
and on
Micah.
behalf of this government and on behalf of the state,
Micah.
I think they'll keep leaving the Micah people to fuck off. I
they
think that's
actually-
their
yeah,
approach
they'll
on
keep telling
that.
them to fuck
That
off.
if your house is crumbling, well, go fuck yourself. That's
So
the
this
game.
takes priority over Mike, is what we're saying.
I think this will get an apology sooner than Micah. Yeah.
We will do what we can. We will be doing computer generated, and we'll get a frame for every one of those photos because I can't believe we let them go out there without frames.
There will be a room in the National Gallery that just has hundreds of them.
Oh, God.
And it won't. It'll like
So
there'll be a
awful.
trigger warning on the way in and be like, we really feel these are not art. These are not artworks, but we really feel it's important as a visual artist, visual medium, that this is witnessed. And I think we cannot forget our history.
Yeah. This is
history,
our
despite
history.
its
This is
wrenching
us.
pain, must be faced, or it will be lived over and over again. Maya Angelou, you know.
Do you know what would be good?
Yeah.
A display of those, but then like in the little thing, like the kind of the tragic decline, you know, maybe of the family being like, you know, they rented everything, they hadn't a pot to piss in, and then of course, you know, the collapse and stuff, you know, just to get a real kind of like you get this gorgeous image of this family, and then ultimately, and then she was actually shagging the masseuse. Do you know what I mean? I'd like that, just to kind of the nice little juxtaposition there of something
Text
quite
written
tragic.
on it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much they were charged as well?
Oh my God.
There was probably like one or two lads doing it, and like they were probably making a mint
And shame
off
on
it.
them.
Shame on them. Yeah.
Shame on them all.
But now everyone's doing their own photo shoots. But you know what's actually gone a little bit was, remember like at the start of like MySpace and Bebo, and people started taking pictures of themselves. A selfie.
A selfie.
Remember, like there was no selfies. Like we saw the introduction, and then so people would be taking selfies, and they'd be like staring off somewhere.
Yes.
And I remember just writing under every single one, what are you looking at?
What was your line?
You're
Well,
so
like-
clever.
No, but like I genuinely, for the first while, I was like, what's going on? Are you not
What's over
seeing what
there?
I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Like, notice, are you acting like the camera isn't there when you picked up the fucking phone to take this? Or it would have been digital camera back then.
Yeah.
You know? But we haven't, that's kind of changed now. I think people's profile photos, they don't actually take pictures of themselves staring off into space. That was a big trend.
We
for
also
a while.
used to pose for them. I mean, we're so
So ubiquitous.
I think that the classic one would be the emo sort of looking up but from underneath their fringe. I'm sure you have quite a few of these, Tony.
Plenty.
Looking up like that and kind of doing a kind of like sad sort of like
Yes.
like that. I'd say you've got a lot of those.
I have a lot of those. It's like I want to have the face of a baby for some reason, but the hair of a freak.
I'm not okay.
See, that's when I turned on MCR.
That's when
Actually, no, I did like that song.
Did
Yes.
you have a GHD?
I had a GHD. I had my own GHD.
You had your own. Was it
I
a
did.
proper GHD as well?
Proper GHD?
No Revlon or whatever.
No,
or other whatever.
I stole my mother's GHD. She was
Straightened
looking
your
after her
hair.
hair for that period.
Right.
So I used her GHD pretty
and you
much
would
exclusively.
iron your hair, straighten it.
I did. I used to go into Ado Coogan, who's now Neighbourhood Threat. You might see him in Dublin. He used to do all the emo hair.
That's the name of his shop. He's not a threat to the neighborhood.
No, he's not Neighbourhood
Sorry,
Threat.
I didn't know that, and that sounded odd.
He's
now a
Neighbourhood
threat.
He's a sex offender.
No, he's
Really
not.
cut that out now,
100% not. No, you'd go into Ado. He was in the Temple Barber back in the day, and that's where you go. You get your emo fringe done.
And you go, I want to look like a sad little boy.
I mean, he didn't just know. You
I never had
You never
enough-
had to ask.
Stripy
I
socks.
never had enough kind of confidence to commit to any. I never.
Oh, it's the same.
I
Yeah.
never could. I mean, I was a bit. There'd be a hippie element. I had some flared chords and stuff like that, but I never really had I never really committed to any archetype like that.
Any kind of subculture.
No, I wasn't in. I wasn't in a subculture. No.
I realized this recently because I used to do on my podcast when I'd interview people. One of my questions was like, "What subculture were you part of?" And every single person said none. And I realized that isn't a common trend that everyone has in their life.
No.
But you start off as a bit of a rocker, get into grunge, maybe get into a bit of a rap metal, new metal vibe, and then you kind of pivot into that. You kind of see where the girls are going. They're going indie now, so I better go indie. You start wearing kind of skinny jeans.
Your whole thing was
emo actually
following
before indie.
women.
Yes.
Yes.
But that is a thing of young people. That is coursing is very important for young people. Yeah.
So punk and then emo and then indie and then new rave and then whatever.
Wow. I was the same. I didn't understand them, and I was like, what am I like? What am I doing? I liked all the different things. I liked acting in the plays, but then I liked being on a rugby team. And I was obviously doing something wrong because I remember trying to go
You're
to...
kind of a Troy Bolton figure.
Who's he?
From High School Musical.
Oh, was he doing the same thing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but also I can score the goals for the team. Or whatever sport it is.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Well, the way you said that makes it sound like you've never scored a goal in your life.
Or
well,
I
I
don't
can
know what
score.
sport
Head
they
of
did
sport.
at
Well,
school.
I can score all the goals for the team, so...
I don't know what team
I can
coach
score the
wants me to
goals for the
play.
team if that
I
is
can score.
necessary.
Hey, you
do
looking for
whatever-
a ringer to come in and score all the goals for the team? I'm your man.
I'm walking in this direction. Please let me go here.
I play for the New
But
York
I remember
Knickerbockers.
I wasn't allowed out of class because then there was a big game. Coach needed me for the big game,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in class and I was like, "Teacher, I gotta go. Coach needs me for the big game. I need to
Wow.
score a goal for the team." And she said, "Killian, you're not on the rugby team." And obviously, I was like, "I'm doing something wrong here because I'm not displaying," and because I was like, "Well, a bit of a class clown." But she was like, Killian, just sit down. And she was a strict woman from Cork, so she was like, no,
Cork,
sit
yeah,
down.
relevant.
And then, it wasn't actually. It's not relevant, but she was. And then she was like, and she wouldn't let me out of class. And I had to.
But did you play for the team?
I played for the team and I had to go. And coach was like, where the hell? Coach came to class and he was like, where the hell? I need my best goal scorer for the rugby team. And I did eventually get out, but
And you score many goals in rugby?
I scored one try in 6 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, against a very poor Argentinian side who I think were several years younger than us.
So no goals,
side.
but he gave it a good try.
Yeah,
Broke
very
two
good.
two guys'
Very
legs.
funny.
So
Did you?
yes, that was more my kind of thing.
There's a lot of people used to be. My memory of school, there was always somebody on crutches, like several lads
Yeah.
on crutches at all times.
It's tough.
You didn't know who was going to be next. I remember I asked my mother, and I was like, why is there less like adults going around on crutches like that? And she was like, because you people are young and you always fuck around.
Mhm.
So that's the
true.
truth of it.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find
Don't know
out.
if she said that. She's like, maybe she probably said something like, you're always messing and
Use
getting
little
and
fridgets.
doing things and playing games and whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we were in
little
secondary
fridgets.
school, so it wasn't like we were little kids, but it was high school.
Musical.
That's when I was in high school.
Um,
There
I
are
also-
some people in Ireland who call it high school. Do you ever notice that?
Yeah, weirdos.
They do that.
Mom.
Mom, I'm not getting into that debate.
No, I'm not either.
I have
My-
zero.
to be
I have
fair-
zero
Debate in
interest in
Ireland.
time
My
of
brother
what
and
you call your
sister
mother.
call my stepmother mom. So I don't, I'm not having to go. I'm not having to go with anyone. Do you know what I mean?
and it's
Call-
speaking Kerry because it comes from the Irish wom.
I want me.
I want me.
Yeah,
Wham.
that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah, Cork and Kerry with that. Like, I don't care. And if you ever find yourself in one of those things, I'm ensconced with rage all of a sudden. If you find yourself in one of those debates of like, what way do you put the toilet paper? Smash your head against the wall quickly.
Okay.
Quick. Smash your head against.
All
Pebble dash,
right.
if preferable.
Yes.
Is preferable, so that you get a bit of cut. Don't do that. There's so much more interesting,
But
so many more
before
interesting
you
things to
smash your
talk
head
about.
into Pebble Dash, do call up 98 FM.
Any of
and
your
tell
local
them-
radio stations
and tell them
them
exactly what your preference is before. Say, sorry, I'm just about to smash my head into Pebble Dash because I realise that my life is talking about meaningless things. But I do want to say we leave our toaster inside the cupboard. Cupboard.
Do you know what I'm going to do for April Fool's next year?
Go on, yeah, please.
I'm going to get you on the radio, right? I'm going to have them book you to talk about maybe it'd be like the anniversary of the referendum or something like that, right? But then when you're on, it's going to be you're going to be on with some other influencer, and they're going to be like, look, we're going to settle this debate. Envelope or envelope? Shane Daniel Byrne, you say envelope. Can you plead your case, please?
I like that you know that about me, that I do say
I do.
envelope. I don't know why that even is. I say that. I don't know.
I can picture that being the absolute nightmare situation that you have to now defend
Suddenly
that live
ensconced in rave.
and be like, envelope. Who calls it bloody envelope?
And
There
the
was
professionalism
one
would
time I
take
was on the
over.
radio that I said, "Oh, come on, we can't talk about this."
Did you?
I think it was the pineapple on the pizza, and I was like, "Come on, we can't talk about that."
Yeah,
I think I said one of them, something like that, or
It's not, you know.
Dave Moore on Today FM asked did I wash my legs, and I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, you asked me that. That's his
That's
standard question.
Okay, well then maybe I shouldn't slag him off. Anyway,
It's tough out there, you know what I mean? Like, it's 20 hours of content that they have to make a week.
Also, do you wash your legs?
I've started to. If I've had any kind of look, I mean, I do have pineapple on pizza. Okay, okay, and then sometimes it might be a bit sticky. I have a shower, and then I'll wash my legs with an envelope. We have some questions. Thank you very much for people who sent those questions in.
we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. I'm very excited about it. We might
We
do
do
a
it
couple here.
less than quarterly.
Yes, we do. So thank you very much for sending in.
This is
a
our
bit of a-
quarterly review.
Yes, this is our quarterly review. This is kind of a speed run ball bag. Okay, so we'll start here. Not to dwell on this because I know we've been criticised for being self-deprecating, but which of you did the best on Tommy Tiernan and why? You can only nominate yourself. What? Okay. I
You
nominate
can't
Shane.
nominate yourself.
Shane.
It says you can only nominate yourself.
Oh, then we all say ourselves.
Yeah, but forget that.
No,
Shane
we
did the
both
best.
say Shane.
He was funny and he also was witty and he kept it brief and he moved on to the next topic. It was an absolute masterclass
And
of being on TV.
also, Tommy said, "You're fantastic, you stormers. You're so
Storm
good."
stage.
And Shane
And I said nothing.
took it really well.
Yeah.
he allowed him to continue.
Okay,
Whereas
well,
me and
this question's uncomfortable for me. Next question.
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard a rumor. Speaking of washing your legs, Killian has no knees. Is this true?
This is in reference to how I walk, because I seem to walk like the ample man. People from Berlin will know what that is. But do you know the guys on the
Ample
track?
man.
I walk like I have
Apfelman.
no knees, like I just have straight legs, like the green man on the traffic lights. And I don't know why.
We were outside this studio the other day, and a guy walked by and said, "Use your bloody knees." Remember?
Yeah.
But I mean, he was in on the joke. In on the joke.
And, it was,
okay.
and then,
It
as if
wasn't
to
just a
brag,
random
he
man.
walked away with the most knee usage I've ever seen. I don't actually know what's going on with my knees. I just ran like a half marathon,
Mm-hmm.
and I did it entirely like I was doing it on stilts. That's what it's like, you know.
Really?
Well, I don't know, but anytime I see they take photos of you all along the way, and they've got photos. And some of them are very embarrassing because your face is all like that. One of them, I have my fist in the air like that. And it's obviously at one of the moments where I was trying to get everyone to go. I was like, "Fucking come on, guys!"
This is not an opportunity to talk about the half marathon.
But every
I'm
single
sorry,
shot,
that is enough.
every single shot, my legs are straight.
Just
Okay.
picturing you walking like you've got like splints wrapped around your legs, and
Yeah.
you're just like, "Come on, everyone, come on!" Sorry, but like,
Kind of like the like a gingerbread man came to life.
Yes, that's it. I walk like a gingerbread man.
A puppet.
I don't know why.
and your Sundermann click clacking over the
Yeah.
finish line there. Can we get a Raymond, Terry, and Anna right to reply episode?
No.
Good.
Absolutely not.
I would not like that at all.
They'd rinse us. You'd lose all respect for us.
Do you know what would be annoying? We wouldn't even come up. They wouldn't even mention us.
That's
What would they be
it would
talking about?
even worse.
Oh, they've loads of interest. They get on very well.
They actually do get on very well.
They do.
Um,
It also would be better than this podcast, and that's what I'm most scared of.
no.
Yeah.
They do it, everyone would love it and go, "Oh, let's just have that." And then
That's the kind of fear that holds us all back. What if it's great? You know, you don't put yourself out there because you're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of success, country success. If anyone's watching on YouTube, I'm ripping up this T-shirt. I'm wearing a scabby
wax?
and I'll tell you, I had the patch on it, and then the patch kind of came off, and I glued it on. I took the patch off the other day because I'll put it on our new set. I don't mind saying our new set's coming. We're getting a new set. And I'll put the patch on that, but then the glue is still on it, and I'm picking up the glue, and I'm wearing a scabby T-shirt because I'm going away tomorrow. And the way you don't want to wear that nice,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I'm only wearing my.
Yep.
So that's what's happening now. I think there's also a bit of that yellow stain from the deodorant on this as well. I don't care. I feel comfortable with you
like
guys, and I
your
feel comfortable with the listeners.
No, I do think I like your T-shirt, but it hasn't a patch on your last T-shirt.
Oh! Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down.
I know you're writing that down.
I might write
Do that
down.
on stage. So a friend of mine, he had a patch, right? And he glued it on.
I do that. I have been doing that recently.
Okay.
Funny things I've said in real life. Who's the most annoying backstage?
Is it me?
I wouldn't class
Do you
any
mean
of you.
backstage before a gig?
I think so. I wouldn't class anyone as annoying, but before the Olympia thing, you were kind of pissing me off by how much you were asking about your outfit.
Yeah, you
Oh,
talked about your
yeah,
outfit
yeah,
too
yeah.
Well, no,
much.
you genuinely weren't, but I did say at one point, like, Killian, if you talk about the fucking outfit now, I am going to spark you.
And then I gave you my shirt.
You did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there you go.
I think
How ironic.
based on lately, this ebbs and flows and changes, but you've both been nervouser than me in the last couple of things we've done, or even doing stand up together. And when someone is nervousy, I find that makes like someone's opening for me, like doing the support slant,
And they're
they're
nervous,
really
yeah.
nervous and they're looking at their notes and all. I'm like, stop doing that. Have back with me right now this second.
yeah.
So that can be annoying, but
Yeah.
I just shook my head and go, oh, the two of them are really annoying.
No,
in
I
there.
have to say,
but that is a thing that can be annoying. When someone's doing too much pacing, you're like, chill out, chill out. Sometimes you're like that, yeah.
I got to say, the backstage with Tony Shane is some of the most fun. It's actually
is
a
the
very
most fun.
fun space.
We should actually do like a podcast that's just like us kind of backstage. just
Wearing
kind of talking.
wearing lapel mics,
Yeah.
and that you just hear. Well, I don't know. Hilary will figure it out.
But that's the fun bit. So I don't really get any. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get backstage. Maybe have a pint. Maybe just chat about the bits that you're going to do. I love that.
It is. I love it.
That's the part of the
After
reason
our
why we do
recent
it.
gig, I was kind of like, what a blessed life we have.
I really enjoyed your company at the last Young Hot Gags, actually, and we were talking to each other about each other's bits. I really enjoyed it. I felt very buoyed because comedy stand-up is very solo, and it was nice to chat about our various. Because often with Young Hot Gags, we'll just go up and do it. We don't watch each other, and that's a stupid idea.
No.
So I enjoyed it the other day. Yeah,
We'll change
good.
that up. Great. We love each other. We're best friends. Well, one of them is my best friend. If you could instantly possess the ability to have any talent, what would that talent be?
Yeah, the other day I was talking about harmonizing. I'd love to be able to harmonize.
Oh,
Um,
I can do that a little bit.
okay, good for you. But that's
But mine is a music one as well. I don't know why it jumped into my mind, but I'd love to play. I think the saxophone would be kind of class.
I'd say it'd be pretty fucking annoying.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a
I
new
can't-
contender for most annoying
I
backstage.
can't rollerblade or ice skate, and I'd
yeah.
like to be able to just to be able to go around in a loop. I would like that.
Oh, I'd love to be a good skateboarder. I'd love to just like be having the skateboard, throwing it down, and getting to work with the backpack, and that's just still so fucking cool.
And I'd
to
be
me.
like to you, do a kickflip. What would you do?
I would do a kickflip.
I wouldn't be able to
You'd
do it with my
land-
straight legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have to have bent knees for that.
Yeah. You'd be shit at a downhill kind of like ski jump thing as well. That's a
You
lot
wouldn't be able to
of
get the
bending.
jump. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
kind of go over the edge.
You'd be doing that splayed leg bit already on the way down, and they'd be like, "No, you have to squat for this part."
gotta
I am
squat,
squatting.
This is the most I can squat.
Yeah. Why did I spend so long learning the saxophone?
Yeah, bringing that backstage. Guys, do you mind if I do my scales? My teacher. I'm working on my embouchure. No, I'd love to also be able to speak Spanish because that's just the one I never really bothered with, but I'd love to have it for free. If I could just press a button and be able to speak Spanish, I'd be pretty happy with that.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah, there is a button. It's called Duolingo, and all of our subscribers can get. No, it's free anyway. I was doing a bit of an ad. I was just doing a bit of an ad, and I bailed on it very quickly.
You just want to do a quick ad for Duolingo, but we don't work with
We
them.
don't work
with
with them, so
Duolingo,
why would
so-
you?
No.
Yeah, shouldn't have. So sorry about that. Do you see yourself as more of a cowboy, samurai, or pirate?
Cowboy.
Excellent question.
I think cowboy for me. Cowboy is the coolest aesthetic. I mean, you can go see those samurai outfits. There's one in Collins Barracks. You can go see them, and they are amazing. But I do think cowboy is just the coolest and the best outfits, and like boots, stirrups, sometimes waistcoats, fringe, hats, badges,
Those
like
onesies where the arse is, where there's a flap for the arse.
Yeah,
chaps. Oh, the onesies they wear. Yeah.
The flap for the arse.
going up on
Chaps,
a
all that.
mountain with another one to watch the cattle for the summer. And
Yeah,
end up
riding
shagging
each other
them.
on the
Yeah.
mountain and falling completely in love.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the cowboy for me, and maybe it is a queer thing, but like, yeah, for me, for sure. What was the other one? I can't even remember.
Samurai and pirate.
I don't think you can be doing samurai because I think you get in trouble. If you
No,
put
I
on
think
the
that's
whole-
finished now. You're allowed.
Oh, you're allowed?
Yeah, someone decreed it. You're allowed to do whatever you want in terms of cultural appropriation. Go knock yourself out.
That's unreal.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank
Oh,
God. What a
okay, great.
relief.
I think samurai lends
Killian has
itself.
that really good impression. Do it.
Yeah.
You will.
Do
He
it.
will. He will.
No, he doesn't understand. No, he didn't.
I was about to do it. I feel like Japanese is allowed.
Oh, there you go. So
There you go. I rest my
don't do it.
case.
I think samurai is kind of like I do like the samurai aesthetic. I do like the tailoring, but it requires this kind of like reps and reps and reps and a kind of stoicism, and I kind of like I wouldn't be into it. I think I'm more of a pirate because I do kind of like just like if there's a bit of money on the table, I'll probably just take it. I'll pillage.
Well, that's what's That's more of a land thief.
Yeah.
You need something. There's nothing seaworthy about that. You
Well,
say
as a
you like
cowboy-
money. That's like a magpie.
I wouldn't be any good with livestock. I wouldn't be. I'd be good with archery for the samurai, but I think generally just kind of. I have a dodgy box.
The way he just says that, I'd be good at archery. You know, I wouldn't be great with livestock, but I'm great at archery.
I am good at archery.
You have a dodgy box. That's pirate.
That's
yeah.
piracy. Yeah, that's piracy.
You're a pirate.
Yeah, and I used to I printed off a fake ticket for my own debs. Like that's piracy.
Well, you wouldn't be good at you'd be bringing your glasses into battle. Like you wouldn't be able
It'd
to.
be a nightmare.
Oh
You
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
be good
yeah.
at archery at all. You'd accidentally hit your own. I'm so sorry.
I wouldn't have glasses.
Because
But then you'd be missing.
Well, if I was a pirate, I could steal them off probably the East India Tea Company, probably some fucking little square there.
Yeah.
And I go in there with my wooden
Some
teeth.
Dutch loser.
Yeah.
I do like cowboys and pirates are good costumes for kids. Samurai's not a great costume for kids. Like you'd have to. It's too involved, isn't it?
It's a bit too much, and it has to look really good
Yeah.
because the tailoring is just so good. The other two are purposefully kind of dirty, bit disheveled.
Maybe
and that
the
kind of
Asian equivalent would be like that's kind of American, a European, and an Asian. The Asian one would be maybe a ninja or something.
thing. Ninja.
That
Yes.
would be that. I would like to be a ninja
And
too.
you
Yes.
could do that with bin bags. You could. That's something bin bag.
You'd rustle quite a lot, I'd say. I think it would defeat the purpose of sneaking.
Imagine, yeah. You try to get in there.
What is that noise? You can't see me. Kids adore being ninjas. They adore the idea that they can sneak and listen to conversations, but they ruin it because they're always like, "You can't see me," or "Come find me."
I'd be a pirate because I think I've always kind of dreamed of being a pirate.
the hair.
Yeah, the hair, the hat. I love a nice hat like that.
You have a pirate's jawline.
Yeah, I have a pirate's jawline.
I will say.
You do,
you know what I
actually.
mean? Yeah.
Pirate's jawline.
Yeah.
You do.
And I've always whenever I get on a boat, there's a little something just happens in me. Like when I remember I mentioned one time that I was in. I think I mentioned it that I was in Marseille.
Oh.
Because I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went and did a boat trip, and like the second I
This was
set
before your
foot on-
half marathon.
Before my half marathon, and I got on the boat, and I really was very excited, and I was like trying to get close to the captain, and I was like, maybe we should do go on like a little swashbuckling adventure or something like that. Let's just do that. Why don't we go to
Pirate Pete's.
Pirate Pete's or go to some sort of cave and get some rum? I love the aesthetic. I love it. I like gold. I like. I like
For what it's worth, Killian, I would shiver your timbers anytime.
There you are. I don't like rum.
They make it look tasty in the movies.
They do.
When they drink it from the bottle, they're like, And so as a kid, I always thought rum was good, but actually it's disgusting.
One of the times I learned I was old. So what they call now Captain Morgan's rum.
Yes.
Spice rum. So
Morgan Spice.
when we were kids, it was called Morgan Spice. So when I was 18, 19 going to drink it, you get Morgan Spice, rum and Club Orange, and it tastes like a super split because of the vanilla in the rum. So it tastes like a super split. And I get that. And I remember I went to this party that was like bring your own naggin, and there's a bar, and the guy will do a cocktail based on whatever you drink. Yeah, pretty cool. And then I wanted to get that. And I went into Dunn's Georgia Street, Gay Dunn's, if you will. And I said to the girl, "Can I have a naggin of Morgan Spice?" Oh wait, which one is the new one and which is the old one?
Captain Morgan's is new.
It's Captain Morgan's new. And I said, "Can I get a Morgan Spice?"
Morgan
And she was
Spice.
like, "Which?" And I was like, "Just Morgan Spice rum. See the naggin there?" And she went, "What?" And I was like, "Morgan Spice." And she went, "Captain Morgan?" Yeah. And then she's rolling her eyes and like almost looking at her other colleague like, the fuck Captain Morgan. And I was like humiliated, and
You were like, Jada's like, this didn't even used to be at Dunn's.
Yeah.
I was like, in my
Could
day-
I have a Morgan Spice, please?
We used to drink that. We had a big nagging of that after our inter-search, didn't we, dear?
You're on
This
my
isn't
cable there.
even
Sorry.
Just in case.
Morgan. And can I pay you now at a half a crown? In the rare old times of Dublin.
It was sixpence is what it used to
It was
cost.
a sixpence for the Morgan Spice.
If the three of you were stranded on a desert island, who's getting eaten first?
Tony, probably.
No. I don't know who it is, but I can confirm that it's 100% not me, because I would be trying to eat you from day one. I would be like, how soon till we suggest the idea of eating one another?
eaten by each other? I thought you meant eaten by by the local wildlife.
Oh,
No, choosing to get eaten first. Oh,
but that's the way I read it. Maybe who's getting eaten first? No, I think it's do we eat each other?
I think Tony has...
After you make sure you wash first.
Well,
It's hard to know in a
Washing the
survival
sea.
situation, but I feel like
I was
Tony
trying to
would
be rude there,
go
sorry.
survival crazy. Like, I think he has a survival instinct that is much closer to real life situations than me and Shane. I think me and Shane would take a while before we go, okay, it's time to get into survival mode.
Tony would be more Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
We would be more like, okay, let's remember to remain egalitarian. And you'd be like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to survive.
Because I know you'd be coming for my glasses. So the only thing I could do is eat you in your sleep.
Right.
Smash your head in with the conch. The very conch that we used for our diplomacy.
What if on the particular plane that crashed, I happened to wear my glasses on the day? Because I often do, because I might read something.
Oh, that's true.
So you have nothing, mate.
Well, then we'd have to eat the one who doesn't have glasses.
But I'm the
See, this is
youngest.
the
Killian's
thing.
too lean. What's the point?
Muscle.
Getting nothing off me.
More bones.
You could also work me to death.
I'd suck the fucking marrow out of you, you cunt.
I would not. I would not
Suck
like
the
to
marrow
go to
out of you.
sleep around you on a desert island.
You
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't. Day one, even I wouldn't be able to sleep.
I swear to God, you wouldn't. You wouldn't want to. I swear to God. I think what I would do is you'd be like, all right, we need to look. Okay, so what do? We make a help sign or something like that. We light a fire. We do like smoke signals. I think I would immediately start trying to build some shelter, cut myself with a stick, and then like not wrap it up properly and die overnight, shivering.
I think you would probably go. Yeah, Killian, you go collect some wood. Shane, we need to fucking kill him.
But
We
fucking
need to fucking kill him because he's going to kill us. And then Shane would go off, and then you go, Killian, we need to fucking get Shane. And you'd be doing that fucking
Tony would
stuff.
get two in his head, and he'd be like, he'd find a water source, and then he'd come back and he wouldn't tell us about it. And then he'd be like, we'd find it, and he'd be like, yeah, sorry, I did notice that the other day, but I feel like he'd be saying, and he'd be like, why didn't you say? You're like, sorry, I don't know. I kind of thought like maybe I won't say that to them. Then I was kind of worried it wouldn't be like, how fresh is that water? And I was like, I don't know. So I didn't want to. That is the kind of. I feel like you do that, and then
oh
you'd
my
be like,
God, I've
Tony.
never felt more seen in my life.
He'd walk around the other side of the island
Fuck
and
me.
see like a fucking ship docked there, and then he'd just go to walk back and go, "Hey, see anything, Tony? No,
No, it's just
there's nothing there."
going to the toilet. Just going to the toilet.
But not intentionally. I think it'd be like, oh fuck yeah, no, there was a ship. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I should have said it to you. I should have said it to
I
you.
meant to say it to you. I meant to say it. Oh.
Kind of living my fantasy. So
Oh, I don't like this. I do like it though, because I love any kind of attention, but I feel weird.
Yes.
Shane is hot.
Oh, thank you so much.
Nice.
Nice.
That is so nice.
Got a couple of liars messaging in. Who's each other's favourite? You have to pick. Well, I can't say who my best friend is. What
but it's
gives you
me.
the right? Someone says.
What gives you the right?
Someone says, what gives you the right?
Well, look, that's a fair
That's funny.
call.
I
like that.
Yeah, what gives you the right? I mean, you didn't have to submit that, but yeah, fair enough. Call us out.
That's a real man giving out to you when you've done something
Yeah,
wrong.
but you'd wonder if someone like these are responding to this Instagram story that Tony posted from Young Hot Guys. Like, you wonder did someone just stumble upon it and go like, who the fuck are these?
Yeah.
What gives you the right? Like, it's a good joke by itself if it's a joke, but if someone could have been, who the fuck do you think you are? I actually agree with that a little bit. I'm like,
100%.
I like the question episodes, and then when we're doing it, I'm like, what gives me? I do feel that's exactly what I've been. You've hit it. You're a good bully, whoever this person is, because you've hit on something very. I've been thinking this while we're doing
100%.
it. I was looking forward to the question episode, and now that we're here, I'm like, what gives me the right?
Absolutely.
You know
In
what I
5
mean?
words, you've made us all your boy.
Yeah, very
100%.
good.
Very good boy
Very
making.
good.
Just a response to ask us anything. What gives you the right?
What gives you the right? I mean, what gives you the right?
I find this interesting.
Then again, maybe it's a typo, and they were going to say, what gives you the ick?
Yeah, might be.
So we don't know. We'll never know.
What gives you the right kind of feelings when you meet someone? What is it about? I've started learning Irish from my girlfriend, who's Irish.
Oh.
Can't seem to make it past hello and thank you. Do you guys have any tips? Lots of love. You're stop doing that. It's a waste of time. You're not going to follow through with it. You're not going to finish.
No, you can learn a few more bits. Learn a few little phrases that you use every day. So you say like, oh, I don't care, or whatever. Say, it's come alum. Say, oh, whatever, I don't care. It's come alum. Throw that one in. You have slán, you have dígwit, okay, whatever.
Tá browner.
Tá browner, I'm sorry. Just learn little things that you say every single day. But you shouldn't be telling your girlfriend to stand up or sit down. She can do that if she wants.
I just
She can
say,
move
I'm
freely.
sorry. And then I say, what's the Irish for babe? I did do that.
See, she is
You're being-
madra.
Yeah.
Learn the names for your girlfriend.
Colleen
Call her,
Madra.
There's no Irish word for gaslight.
You call her
Thank
Mastor, Machree.
Yeah.
Throw in a few of those. Storeen, maybe.
Graham
Or
O'Cree.
anything that she says that's like fun and cute that you could like just kind of replicate.
And go to changlin.ie. That's a T-A-N-G-L-A-N.
And they do free classes, I think, around. They do.
Don't mind. He's not going to learn full Irish on his own, or her own, or their
There's
own.
an X at the
My
end.
dad
I
tried.
think it's a girl.
And
be a
again,
girl,
this is a
top
man
runner.
who's lived in Ireland the most out of all the places he's lived in his life. over 30 years, and he tried to learn Irish, and it didn't work for him. And he literally has no. I remember him coming home very frustrated with. This is a teacher. He takes notes and things like that, and just looking at this page of like Irish language and going, "It's just illogical. It makes no sense at all."
She.
Sha, she, she,
It's
sha,
very
sham.
strange, but there are many languages. You're saying that person put a kiss at the bottom, so that might suggest it's a woman. A lot of men are putting kiss. Your cousin Omar, when he wrote to us at YHD at HeadStuff podcast, he sent an X at the end of his message. I think I really like that. Today I saw a guy.
Tony also puts an
Just-
X at the
just-
end of his
Yeah,
messages.
that is suspicious.
I do.
Very
It reads
suspicious.
very respectful or something. I don't know. Like
I
it's
like men
polite.
who ignore the things. Like there's like men who are going, "This is what a feminist looks like," and then there are men who just ignore the whole grossness of what a man is supposed to be like. Today I saw a man, and he was on one of those what you might call a girl's bike, with the dropped crossbar, and he was just cycling to work or whatever. And I was like, legend.
Absolutely.
Just to ignore those things. Love those guys.
I wore I didn't have any shorts, so I wore
A little skirt,
those
pencil skirt, and you couldn't cycle.
and
so
then
you
my
got the buzz.
face was I didn't want it to make it look nice.
So you bit of lippy, bit of rouge, eyeliner, mascara.
Yeah.
Simple things.
Fine.
But I went to my Pilates class and I wore the like
Sports bra.
leggings, jeggings. What are they called? Leggings.
You wore jeggings to your Pilates class.
Leggings.
leggings. Yeah. And
You
I was
wore-
a bit self-conscious about it, but I was
Yeah.
like, is this fine?
Yeah, that's fine. I
I
do.
think my ass looked good though. I think it probably like
This is crazy.
I
What?
thought my ass looked good in a pair of trousers the other day because I was.
Yeah.
They're like kind of like chinos, but they're also like tracksuit bottoms. They have an elastic top, and I put them on. And I was kind of feeling my butt, and I said to Raymond, I think I was like, these are nice. I think my bum looks nice. And Raymond looked at it and went, no, it doesn't actually. He went,
Shut up.
and I was like, what the? He's like, well, I'm just being honest. Like in
Read
those
the room.
trousers, no,
Fucking
just.
hell.
He's like, I've seen your bum look much better in other trousers. Wow. I know, yeah.
That's not fair.
that's
Well,
so
I think
unfair.
it's good to have honesty in your relationship.
Yeah, somebody wearing leggings to a Pilates class.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I think
You're turned on.
I can't. I don't know. I don't think I can accept that.
Is it wrong?
But for
No,
what? On
it's
what
not.
grounds? On what grounds?
I think it's brave as a man because we need a bit more of that for to go to a Pilates class.
Yeah.
Because that's traditionally a ladies
It's
thing.
not brave to go to a Pilates class.
I know it's not, but I don't
It's
go.
brave
to these
when you're as
things.
shit as me, but
But then to wear leggings as well.
I didn't have any shorts, and also like the shorts will slide up, whereas leggings kind of stay put.
How leggingy? Like, is it like those women's leggings where you can see the exact curvature and dimples of
No,
their
they were
arse?
thick. I think they were like skiing things or whatever. So it was also extremely hot.
Right. It sounds like you just dressed poorly for the activity. That's what it sounds like. And maybe the legging element is not really part of it. It sounds like you
trousers,
wore.
like I just put on some socks I found in a bin and like it's fucking stunk and shit. No, I don't know. Logically, it's like that's totally fine, and I love you, but I don't know. I guess there's still some dormant toxic masculinity in there.
Speaks
that I
to your
can't get
own.
rid of.
It's sure.
It does.
Tony,
It
that's
does.
all
That
on you.
speaks to your own.
That's I'm
Sure, you don't know
rubber.
with
You're
yourself.
rubber and I'm glue, actually.
Well,
Don't say that because we don't know the end of it.
And whatever I
See,
Sit
we
back
don't
down.
know the end of it.
Yeah.
We tried it.
we're just
earlier.
trying to make it rhyme.
Don't
If we
stop
just
when
say
you
what it
can't
is,
stop.
everything I throw at you bounces and it sticks back to me. But we keep trying to make it rhyme, and that's why we can't do it. We're
Well,
trying to get the exact beats.
Yeah, but it sticks and stones can break my bones.
good
But
words will
names,
break your heart.
Well,
Is that the way it is?
No, it's not that.
That's what my dad told me as a kid.
Well, your dad, English isn't his first language.
well,
He speaks lovely English, but I wouldn't take advice from him.
What is
on-
the end of that rhyme?
Names will never hurt me.
Yeah, my dad told me because when we were getting slagged in school for being Germans and stuff, and he was like, "You tell them sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will break my heart." He told me
Oh,
to
well,
say
that's
that.
more.
that is not standing up to a bully to tell them that they're breaking. You're breaking my heart.
Yeah, that's a good defense. Doesn't mean bully. To be honest with you, Damien, you're really breaking my heart here. You hurt my feelings. Damien, don't say that, man. Breaks my heart when you do that stuff to me. You know, we were talking a few weeks ago about needing the word gay back. That'd be gay. That would be so gay.
I just want to communicate
that
to
will
you
be
guys
gay, yeah.
that you're being very effective
Yeah.
in your bullying. Everything you're saying is having a massive effect on me.
You know what you're saying is impactful. And it's hurting me. It's
Another
hurting me.
thing
It's
he
breaking
told
my
me
heart.
to do was to walk up to them, just point at them in the face, and very slowly say, "No."
Yeah, that's not going to work either.
I was talking to Kevin.
Just
McGahan
tell the
about it,
teacher or another adult you trust.
and
Yeah,
he
be a
said,
grass.
because I was thinking it'd be funny to do a bit about like trying defend yourself with your parents' advice. Defend yourself from bullies. And he said, Kevin said that his mum told him to go up to the bully and go, I just want you to know that I'm treasured by a wonderful family and a loving community.
Oh my God. Where did this come from?
Kevin's mum told him to say that.
Oh my God.
And he was like, treasured by the community. Like, as if the bully's going to go, whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, he's got the community on his side. Back off, fellas.
Whoa.
All right.
Treasured by a community.
All right, let him pass.
I didn't know. Hey, watch your back about that McGahern kid.
Anyway, I would recommend don't bother to learn the language. You're not going to follow through. Favorite tribunal?
Oh,
there's so many.
I just know
can't
Moriarty,
remember any.
really.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be Moriarty as a standout, right?
And it's so hot right now. Did you see
back in the news.
Paul Murphy's good April Fool's joke?
What was it?
So Paul Murphy, TD Paul Murphy filmed Shane Larry, who is implicated in the Moriarty Tribunal for being an absolute
Michael Larry.
crook.
Shane Larry has nothing to do with this.
Shane Larry, who won the Open Championship in 2019, and that was
Do
included
you
in the
know
Moriarty
Shane Larry's a
tribunal.
golfer, Tony?
Yes, I do
You
know
did
him.
know that.
Yeah.
My favorite golfer.
So,
best golfer
Shane
today.
Larry, of course, implicated in the Moriarty
Implicated
Tribunal.
Moriarty Tribunal. His flop,
Dennis O'Brien
his flop
gave Shane
shots.
Larry money, right?
He said
For
if you-
ESA Digiphone. And Shane Larry was like, I want to have ESA Digiphone. Okay, go on.
Well,
Hello to all our friends at Bauer Media as well.
Paul Murphy obviously had his links with Tiger Woods, and no, he filmed Michael Larry, and Michael Larry gave him two fingers,
salute.
and
Yeah.
that was big news all around Ireland for giving him 2 fingers.
Yeah, but 2 months ago at this stage. But
Yeah,
go on.
go on,
And
Killian.
anyway, April Fool's Day. Because everyone's like, Paul Murphy should apologize for recording him. On April Fool's Day, he said, here's my full apology to Michael Larry. And he wrote a link. And then the link was just to the full reading of the Moriarty Tribunal.
Okay.
It was a good prank, good
very
political prank.
good.
Yeah, I don't care for that kind of stunt, to be honest.
Mm. Yeah, well, there you go. That was
There you
just,
go. Yeah, well, just we can be different. We can have difference of opinion.
We can if 2 people on a comedy troupe agree, one of them doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
That's true. Hey, firm staunch boner here. I've been wondering what are Shane's thoughts on geranium flowers. I just feel like he knows a thing or two about dido rails and divan beds, etc. He might be into geranium flowers as well. Love Aoife.
Yeah, I support them. They're easy to look after in the garden.
Yeah.
And then as it comes into the autumn, you can take them inside if you have them in pots, and they will last a little bit longer. But they're good fellas, and pick off any brown leaves that come up. Yep, I support geraniums.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your question.
No. Did E.T. have one of them? Or was that a
Is that
sunflower?
what E.T. had? He may have had a sunflower.
Good.
Deadheading is your friend.
Okay, cool.
Geraniums, very easy to look after if anyone's like they.
How's
you
the
can-
plant I gave you? Dead?
doing so well.
Oh, good.
It's
good.
literally. It looks like it's growing a new leaf every single day.
You know,
so
people
good.
I give plants to do sometimes send me photo updates on how they're getting
This
on.
one
so-
was looking quite bad for quite a while, so I'm going to wait a little bit before I send you a photo. But it was in such a bad way. But sometimes that's just the way it is with the houseplant. It needs a bit of time to settle,
Sure.
and it's settled, and now it's grown.
It's
And
like moving house is a big upheaval. Moving house.
yeah,
That and getting divorced.
sometimes mums
I'll
and
tell you, I
dads-
would never get divorced again. I'm
Oh,
telling you,
God.
I was wrecked.
It's a fucking faff.
That's a bloody faff.
Just a faff, isn't it?
Years ago. Well, we had a judicial separation. That was the early 90s.
Yeah,
And then the divorce came in, the referendum came in. So we were one of the first. Myself and my first wife, Angela. And but look, we remain close. You kind of have to be when you have the kids, I suppose.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be in touch in some way,
I
even
suppose
though
you'll never hate her because she is the mother. You know what I mean? Like she gave you.
she
those
gave me
kids.
my beautiful kids.
Beautiful kids, so you can't hate her.
And
Yeah.
I see them once in a while.
Aoife,
Yeah.
Fanula, and Siobhan, my beautiful girls. They're all doing very well. If Aoife's
And do you
gone
still
over,
have that
she's-
photo in the of the house of the all of you on the white background?
Yeah, I have the girls wearing their white t-shirts and blue
It's in storage
jeans
because you're
and
going between places.
bare feet. But no, I haven't put up in the new place because that'd be disrespectful to Colette, my current
Yeah,
wife.
I wouldn't like that.
And I don't want Colette to feel, But yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much, and that's it, I suppose. At one stage, I thought about being a priest, but that all seems.
Colette and the girls don't really see eye to eye.
No.
We're just different personalities, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, they're civil.
Yeah.
Like, the girls are older now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
They're older than Colette.
Fanula's doing her masters, and
They're older than Colette.
Eve's
Yeah.
getting ready to. They would be older than Colette. Colette's
Yeah.
19. My wife, she's 19. One of the youngest Colettes in the country.
Yeah,
Must
yeah.
be
Big
quite a
time.
young
One of the
Colette.
younger Colettes in
Yeah,
Ireland.
because usually Colette's be in their 40s and stuff. And yeah.
Colette Gillespie, that's her name.
Colette
Colette Gillespie.
Colette Gillespie. That's amazing.
The sax, son of
Yeah.
the sax player.
Yeah.
Like Killian Sundermann, the famous sax player.
Oh, yeah. That'd be funny if we did like a Marvel What If, different life. Where
Yeah.
you're married to Colette and you've got those kids and you play a saxophone. And I don't know, maybe I'm gay. I don't know.
You'd love to.
Oh, fucking love
He'd love to like it. He'd love to like it.
Mm.
That's the thing. Tony's in that space. It's not a sexuality, but it's like, I'd love a go at that. But you know you won't really like it.
No, I don't like
Yeah.
it. I tried.
Yeah.
I looked at the videos and I'm just.
Yeah.
I've seen comments underneath some of the YouTube videos, having a peruse, and there's people
Of our
actively-
podcast?
of our podcast, of this
Oh, I thought you
podcast,
meant gay porn. Go on.
of people
Because you pivoted
on YouTube
directly after me saying no to gay porn.
And there's people actually discussing what they think Tony's sexuality is, which is I find very funny.
Oh.
That's nice.
They're like, I think Tony's homoerotic. He has desires to want to be gay, but he simply does not have the feelings or something.
That's exactly what I just said. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what homoerotic means, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
no,
I
some
think that's
sort
from
of-
real
yeah.
literature.
Yeah.
Homo curious.
Homo curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the same as bi curious then? I don't know.
I think it's the kissing, and I like.
Yeah.
I want to be a really hot man, and I fancy that idea.
Yeah.
I think you know
Right.
what I mean.
Okay,
I want to
yeah,
be a really
yeah.
hot man, and I fancy him, and yeah, I like hugging men. That's
fine.
That's where it goes.
Doesn't have to be sexual.
Doesn't have to be sexual. Well, do you know what? I think we might actually save a couple of those maybe for the bonus listeners where you can become a subscriber over on HeadStuff Plus for cheaper than a price of a pint a month. And if you can't support us there, you don't have the ability to pay there, don't worry about that. Do you know what you can do? You can go over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and leave a lovely review. That would mean a lot to us. Or subscribe to us on YouTube. That would also make a huge world of difference. So thank you very much for that.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was very
That was like
professional.
unbelievable.
Don't know where it even came from either.
Yeah.
You just
You
went
just
for it.
kinda
What happened
nowhere.
there? What happened?
Yeah. You looked like you blacked out, but
What's
you were
going on?
giving perfect information.
Yeah, you just launched
No,
into
you're talking. Who's talking?
You went
we're
from being
paper.
so impressive to being so shit.
Thanks to everyone for listening to the podcast and being our friend, even though we don't know if you like us or you hate listen.
Oh, I'd love if
Oh,
you hate listening.
and a special shout out to anyone who listens to this podcast and hates us and sends screen grabs of us to their friends. Special shout out to you because you're keeping us going. Thanks so much.
Thanks for the engagement.
Thanks for the engagement.
Thanks for the money.
Trolls.
Thanks for the engagement. Trolls. We don't actually really get. People seem to just like us, and that's just the way it is. I don't know what we do to deserve it.
You're
These
living
are all-
in a bubble. There are people who hate us. Me and Peter McGarmer saying that one time. You'd love to know who. To know the stuff. I'd love to
yeah.
see what it's like when something I do online is in someone's group chat going, this fucking cunt. I'd
Yeah.
love to
Oh,
know.
it's good that Peter's wondering that because I say so many people hate him.
I'd say
I'd say
oh
people
my
hate
God.
Peter because they don't get it, and that's annoying them. They're like,
also
I don't get it.
And his head just stands out. It's just
Yeah,
so
it's
noticeable.
big.
You spot it
Big
immediately. I
fucking
wasn't even
head.
saying a big gun sound to go down. I was just saying that you notice very
Huge,
noticeable head.
giant
You
head.
know what I mean?
I think Peter is very handsome.
He's
Oh,
very
he's a
handsome.
handsome
I
man.
think
I actually think
he's
Peter doesn't get enough credit for that.
he doesn't actually. I think when I first met him, I'm like, this is like a lead actor. Like this is lead actor handsome. You know,
He's
At the
listening
time,
to this right now. He listens to this podcast. He is
I know.
listening to this
He'll
right
text
now,
us about
and
it.
he is probably fucking grinning ear to ear.
Yeah.
Well-
on his big fat head.
No, come on. Now.
Well, even though we it is awkward to say now, we have to be honest about these things. It's not about Peter. This is about being honest and being our real selves and being truthful. And that's all we can offer you guys, ourselves.
Just ourselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, we better go. The podcast is too long.
Colette
All
and
right.
the boys, sir.
I have to go pick
Colette
up
and the girls.
Colette. I have to go pick up Colette. She's getting her breasts done.
She's finishing her
All
leaving
right.
cert.
Slán. Bye.
Very attractive. Very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around. Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy. It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
Sundermann!